Welcome back to the Shit No One Tells You podcast. This is season 6? I'm starting this whole new season in mid-2025 because I can. I want to focus this season a lot on self-growth, changes, and really pushing yourself towards living life with intentions. I think that's where I am getting myself towards. And, just for some updates, 2023 was the craziest year. That was the year where I really step out my comfort zone. I had a solo trip to Japan. That was crazy. And I closed a few chapters of my life. I had my last rave, which was EDC 2023. I loved the phase, but it was over. I closed that chapter. I felt like there was something missing in my life. I wasn't sure what it was at the time. So I started a new contract in the West Coast. And then I decided to go to Vietnam. I took my mom back to Vietnam. I felt like it was a duty of mine to do so because she hasn't been back for a decade. So I did that. I connected more with my family over there, and I touched grass. I touched the Vietnamese grass. And I met my boyfriend. Yeah, I met my boyfriend. He was on a mission trip in Vietnam. He wasn't even supposed to be there. I'm not even there. He's not even there, and somehow we matched and we became a couple, and we're still dating. Yeah, that was crazy. So I opened a new chapter, and I also started the chapter in New York. That was 2023. A lot of things happened. A lot of development, personal growth, all of that happened in 2023. 2024 was more about self-discovery. I went through a lot of funny phases in 2024. Most of it was spent in San Francisco. That was where I had my contract before Boston. San Francisco, the weather, I can't stand the cold. And San Francisco just had that funny weather where it's just chilly all year round, slightly windy. It makes my skin so dry, my hair so dry. For the most part, 2024 was, again, a weird time. I think it's also because I turned 25. I guess you can say I went through a little quarter life crisis. It prolonged for months, for a while. I think it has to do with a lot of things. And as you grow older, there are a lot of things in life that happen. You go through these crises because 1, you have these conflicts with yourself. 2, you have conflicts with your family or friends around you. And 3, you're just uncertain about whether or not you know what the fuck you're doing. I'm going to talk about some of the things that I have challenges with, and it has to do with my career, my relationship. Really have to ask myself what it is that I want for myself, whether or not the things, the people that I align myself with for the past years now align with what I believe in. The theme of the season is to live life with intentions. And what I mean by that is, in life, you really need to understand what your intentions are. Honestly, when I talk about intentions, I mean, what do you want out of your life? It's honestly such a bogus question. Sometimes I don't know what the fuck I want. Some day I wake up and I want a cup of matcha. Another day I wake up and I want to make money. The next day I wake up, I just want to lay in bed and just rotting in bed all day long. I don't know. Every day it's different, right? Well, you can talk to my boyfriend. He's a little more pragmatic. He'll wake up one day and he'll know exactly what he wants. And he'll wake up the next day and it'll be the same thing of what he wanted the previous day. So, there are people like that. And you guys inspire me. I'm a little sporadic. So for people like me, when I go through life, I go through a lot of changes. And my opinions change all the time. So what this also means is I am very easily influenced by the people around me. And that's a big issue. I've actually watched a lot of my previous podcast episodes that I recorded when I was in my early 20s. And I realized that I have always acknowledged this flaw of mine where I pay attention too much about what people think about me. And it's really funny because I would acknowledge these things and I would give advice to people that you should not do this, but then I wouldn't follow my own advice. After years passed, I reached the age of 25, and I guess at this age, people kind of go a little crazy because you're not like young anymore. You're also not old enough where you're super wise. At least for me, I do think in your 20s, that's the year for you to have fun, make mistakes, explore. But for me personally, I think I set a deadline for myself in each phase of my life. For example, during my raving phase, I really wanted to stop after a year or so, and I did just that. I mean, I spent about a year and a half having fun and making up for the years lost where I never got to have fun growing up. Because to me, I felt as if like if I were to stretch out that phase of my life, it's just gonna be an identity. I didn't want my identity to just be one thing. So I made some changes. Also because I felt something was missing in my life. Now that I'm here looking back at the year of 2024, I had so much mental issues, not depression, rather anxiety. I was having a lot of anxious thoughts, and most of it has to do with changes. And for the longest time, I actually loved change. I have always been a very adaptable person, but I don't know what happened in the year of 2024. I was fearful of change, and I was scared of the career that I was doing, which I'm a travel nurse, and I moved around. I'm not committed to one place like a staff nurse would. And I've always wanted this, and yet last year I was so scared. I wanted to settle down. I wanted to be in one place. I was so worried. And then now this year come, all of that thoughts, poof, gone. Now that I'm back home in Texas, I'm taking a break. And honestly, now that I'm staying in one place right now in Texas, I actually get a little fearful. I'm like, wait, maybe I need to move around. You see the sporadicness coming out of me right now? At the end of the day, what life has to offer is that you just really need to embrace what life has for you. And I think that's been what keeping me tame and calm. And honestly, I want to be honest, I've gotten closer to my faith again starting 2023. Right after I closed down my party phase chapter, I reconnected with God. And for the whole 2024, it was just really about me and God. And we were back and forth. And I was just like, I can't, like I'm having such a hard time. I'm literally struggling, and I think it all has to do with I let people tell me what I should think, how I should behave. Letting people judge my career, my relationship, my life, especially if those people are close to me, it hurts. Allowing people to come into my peace and try to mess with it is not something that I welcome this year. I realized that in order to do that, you would have to draw boundaries, and I'm talking hard boundaries. No more letting people in just because you want to be nice. I think that has done a lot of goods more than bad for me so far. I mean, the bad thing is you just have to train yourself to be more stop caring, Know who you are, know what you're here for, know your intentions. What is your intention with everything you do? And look, I'm not here to preach my faith, but I'm telling you, sometimes you really have to step back and ask, whatever you believe in, the universe, Jesus, God, you really have to ask yourself, why are you here, right? I mean, you're not just another ant, which I would always say that, is that you're just an ant. We're all just ants. In a sense, it's true. We're all just little humans, but we're all here intentionally. We're not here just to be here. And we should be selfless enough to believe that we're not more important than everyone else, but we should be grateful for where we are, what we are, and how we are. Learning how to be grateful is what got me to be a lot more calm and at peace with myself. It's a daily battle. It's never easy. It's not something that you can just wake up one day and say, holy shit, I'm cured. No, you're not cured. None of us are cured. We're all humans. We make sins. To wake up and say that you're better than everyone else, that itself is already a red flag, you know? Like, we're not better than anyone else. Another thing is comparison is the worst of all. Like, especially when you talk to people, you want to find people who are sharing about their life, but at the same time, they are listening into your life. And it's just listening, sharing, it's back and forth. There's no need to compare. Just because you tell me that you do this, I don't have to like what you're doing. That is your life, and that is my life. There's no need for any of us to sit and think about whether or not your life is better or mine is. Who cares, right? Like, you're you and I am me. Our life is different. Another thing that I really gauge in is my life is my life, their life is their life, the way I was raised, the ways I grow up, everything about me makes me unique. And there's no reason for you to feel as if like you're lesser or greater than someone else. It's all about selfless. It's all about being grateful and living with the intentions of doing what you want to do. But other than that, keep it simple, keep it clean. I'll see you in the next episode.